Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to And Unity for All. Sorry I haven't been around much lately. I've been adjusting to new schedule, new job, all that kind of fun stuff, and kind of getting conditioned to it now. And even now, looks like it's about time for a haircut, so pardon my appearance. All right, the crash is no longer coming. It's here. The Dow has been in decline for 8 days as of yesterday, since June 14th, when the Fed announced an increase in the primary credit interest rate. That effectively ended quantitative easing, QE, which has been in place since roughly 2008. Zero interest loans for banks and large financial institutions, including corporations, performing stock buybacks. So that ends that. There are no more major tax breaks and all that stuff that the corporations can use for their stock buybacks coming anytime soon. It's no coincidence that the interest rate increase was followed very shortly by a report by the SEC stating that there has been massive, widespread insider trading going on for quite some time, by corporate executives and the like. So that report seems to indicate that the SEC, suddenly became aware of this, even though there have been many of us that have been talking about this for years now. So, corporations announce a stock buyback, and that sparks a buying frenzy because investors know that the value of the stock is going to go up. Well, right after the stock goes up, corporate executives dump huge amounts of their own stock holdings, selling it at peak value, which again drives the stock price down. And so they make insane profits, and with using zero interest loans, and sometimes they don't even do the stock buyback because they've already made their money off of that. GE is going to be delisted from the Dow Industrial Complex. That is as of June 26th, because their stock has declined by 57% in the last 18 months. GE is not hurting for profits. They're a major defense contractor, in addition to producing commercial electrical turbines and medical imaging equipment like MRIs, CTs, and ultrasounds. And they also produce jet engines. So they're making their profit. What happened is that major stockholders, primarily corporate executives, dumped so much of their stock that it drove the value of the stock down. This is not an isolated incident. People are missing the implication here. This is not isolated. This is an indication of what's going to happen on a large scale, and this is what I've been talking about. Other corporate executives are going to start doing the exact same thing. Now that QE is ended, the stock market, the stocks are not going to go up any higher. They're at peak, so they're going to sell at peak to make their own personal profits, and then This is going to happen at such a large scale with so many corporations that it's going to send the entire stock market plummeting. Now, that is in addition to the fact that other countries have stopped doing their own QE, which they were using. They were printing money to buy U.S. stocks. Well, they wanted to do this to make money. They're going to sell off their stocks. Other countries are selling U.S. treasuries, and nobody's buying. They're selling, nobody's buying. So, all right, I've said, I wrote an article, I didn't make a video, and I only published it on Medium. It's kind of a time-consuming thing to research and write and do a video and publish to multiple outlets. So, sorry, some of that hasn't been included everywhere. But this is, I wrote that this is going to happen in a stair-step manner. As stocks decline, you know, people sell off large amounts of stock, stock declines in value, bunch of investors buy up a lot of stocks at the lower price, that'll drive it up slightly, and then they sell again. And you keep on doing this over and over until there's nothing left, you know. So they make their profit. As there's less and less profit to be made, then it just keeps on going down. All right, so you can expect that to keep happening, going lower and lower. The highs will be less high, the lows will be more low. All right, so then as the value of stock declines, long-term stockholders are still going to demand that they make a profit off of their investments. That sparks the next stage. So that's going to mean more retail closures, more layoffs, more wage decreases. Now, that's how stock declines always happen. No exceptions. Always. And then another major event happened this week. All right? Congress announced cuts to food stamps, Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Now, the most immediate one of these that's going to have an effect is going to be food stamps. All right, the combined effect of food stamps getting cut and wage decreases and et cetera, you know, means there will be less money spent in the economy. All right, so less money spent in the economy means less need for retail jobs. Less need for retail jobs is also an indication that less product is being sold. Less product sold means less need for production. So you cut production, you cut transportation, like truck drivers. So, and then as you close places down, you have less need for maintenance. As jobs keep on reducing and disposable income decreases, you have fewer vehicle sales, so you cut into the auto industry. Fewer home sales, so less construction. And it just keeps on going. It's not limited to one industry. All right, so all of that is completely apart and separate from the chilling effect of the trade wars with other countries against everyone. All right, so this is the downward spiral that I have been talking about for so long. This is it. We're here. We are off the cliff. From here, our downward velocity is only going to increase because nobody in the government, in any party, is going to do anything to slow it down, let alone stop it. It's going to happen. It's happening. It's happening now. This is it. Where the bottom is anybody's guess. We're not going to see the bottom anytime soon. The media remains silent on the subject. Wall Street isn't going to tell you anything as long as they're still holding your money. When you lose your money, you lose your money. They don't lose anything. It's in their bank account. You handed it over. So even if you try to sell, they're going to charge you fees, so you're still going to be paying. All right, so, you know, the media is going to keep cheering for Wall Street, and saying that Wall Street still being even remotely up is good for the economy, and they'll call this a market correction. Yeah, right, okay. And, you know, and if they can't do that, they're just going to obfuscate and divert your attention somewhere like Trump's latest tweet. And, you know, and then they're going to ramp up talk about Russia and China and blame everything on everyone except for themselves, except for Wall Street. They're going to divert your attention from who's really to blame. Yeah, when the bottom does fall out, they're going to report on thugs and violent protesters starving people in the streets trying to survive. And in most cases, those are going to be non-violent protests, and the violence is incited by police, the militarized police. Or the media is just going to turn off the cameras and act like nothing is happening at all. So here we are. We're off the cliff. Take a deep breath, buckle up, brace for impact. Wish I had something positive to say on this, but I really don't. Anyway, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do, but personally, if I had anything left in the stock market right now, I would sell every bit of it right this minute. That's what I would do. I can't tell you what to do. All right, later.